You ready to roll? You guys are on? And you hear me? You hear me well? Then? Okay, great. Okay, so now, Mitzvah Shem, we're going to start the new part of the Sugya today. Just to give you a little guidance over here. So now, as you see, we're really basically done with Shivrei Kalim. The Sugya of Shivrei Kalim spans from Siv Vav all the way to Siv Tez Zayin. And that's more or less what we do. I would expect that if the Olam should be really, bulky at this point in these Mishnah Berurahs from Vav to Tez Zayin. Make sure that you know those well. That's what we've been spending a lot of time on. That's what we have to work on. The Maisa, from this point, Yud Zayin, Yud Ches, Yud Tes. I'm going to mention things that come out, Halacha L'Maisa in them, Yud Zayin, Yud Ches, Yud Tes. There are things that we spoke about, but the things that come out. Chav to Chavav is the next big sugya. That's the sugya of Yichud, being miyached a kli, being miyached a brick, etc. That in Mitzvah Shem we're going to learn, but the applications are less than the literature here. So the Olam, sometimes I'm ahead of the Olam. Here's an example. You should start moving in the Mishnah Berurahs. Chav, Chav Aleph, Chav Beis, Chav Gimel, Chav Daled, Chav Hei, Chav Vav. Those sugyas, the Olam should really, the applications, that's my job, to apply them for the Olam together. That's the next big sugya. And then after it starts Chav Zayin, which goes back to learning, different cases in Mitzvah Shem. I planned this week on getting through Chav Vav. I don't think it's going to happen. Again, Chav to Chav Vav, we're not going to be learning as, each sif by sif. Chav to Chav Vav are all applications, examples of being miyached kelim and taking them out of their status of muksa and making them into usable kelim. That's the sugya there, and I'm going to go through those klalim. There are two side sugyas that come out in the middle over here. One is about a wet beged, which that Mitzvah Shem we're going to talk about today. It's something the Mishnah Berurah mentions, and it's not the ben kaimai. And then the sugya of grass, which also doesn't really have a mark, and that comes out in the sugya over there, because Mishnah Berurah mentions different parts and trees and things like that. So I'm gonna try. Probably it'll give me time so that the Olam can catch up in Chav to Chav Vav. But that's the Seder Zman. The Maisa, as far as what we spoke about yesterday. So again, like I said, you can go through every case in the world, and you can spend weeks and weeks on every single case that comes up. So, but I'll tell you one ironic thing, and that way we'll close this segment of Shivrei Kalim with this case, which is a case that we spoke about, just didn't speak it out. And I told you the Sefer Shalmi Yehuda has 13 cases of broken glasses, right? So I went through a lot of his cases. In the Olam, we went through a lot of the cases, Grada. But just one ironic thing that comes out. I'll ask the Olam what they think. The glass pops out. We didn't speak about that case. We got to speak about the legs popping out. I forgot. We didn't speak about the glass popping out, right? The glass pops out. Now, there's different reasons why the glass could pop out, right? Well, what are the reasons? One reason the glass could pop out is because the nail came off, right? The nail's loose or something, right? One reason why the glass came out. Let's say that's the case. And I would ask that only those that have glasses should talk now, right? We don't need you're allowed to talk because usually you have glasses, but I mean those that are, usually have glasses, right? But Rabbi Shvei, you have glasses? Doesn't look like it. So I just appreciate if you just listen to what others have to say for a moment, okay? And I didn't want to be so aggressive, but we can have issues otherwise. So you have glasses, Rabbi Frankel? No. Okay, so just, sei still, yeah? Okay. As I said, so when the glasses come out, is there a shema? Let's go case by case. The glass part comes out, and it's because the nail is loose. Okay, or the nail fell on the floor and you have the nail and you want the nail. You're not kicking away the nail, let's say, or whatever, one of these cases. Is there a Shema Yitzka? What was the other say? I think yes. Thank you for all the glasses wearers. Right? I think everybody says yeah. I think yeah. Because the word is that it's really not shaykh, because I'm going to have to close one eye and not the other eye. Now, I'm going to tell you a very interesting fact about your rabbi, about Shagi Kallus, that by me, I'm a supik. Because when I read, I don't know if you ever noticed, but I go like this. I don't know if you ever noticed. I don't know why I do that, but it's part of my thing. I can't read with both my glasses, both of my eyes. I go like this, or I go like this. What? What's it called? I thought it's something tzaddikim have. So if you want to give it some goyish name, I would appreciate you keep it Jewish. Okay. My incident mention that's one of tzaddikim though. Okay. Anyways, so there are some tzaddikim that have this thing that they have to close this eye and learn. I was wondering by me, so what is that now? Like I can really use these glasses and I could use them. They're basically just fine for one of my usages. for one of my, it's interesting, Shaila, we never thought about this, Shaila, for one of the functions of my glasses, reading, let's say a guy like me that has, let's say a guy like me that has a different pair of glasses also, right? So what would I do in this case? The other pair of glasses I would use when I need to walk around, right? And the glasses that would pop out, so what would I do? It would be great for me. I would just use them when I would read. So I wonder if that all muksa. I wonder if there's a Shem Yitzka there. Sorry? Why don't I do that lechatchila? That's a very interesting question. It's hard to ask that to a person sometimes, right? But I wouldn't care. I think I wouldn't care that much enough. Like, how does this work? I have a different, I'll add to my question. I have a different pair of glasses also, right? It's like, how does this work? I have a different pair and I would have a usage for those glasses.
Every time you're done.
What?
Every time you're done, you have to be done. How importantly the guy.
Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't have to. Like, what would happen if I don't even know how it would work? Let's see.
And what's if you have another?
No, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I would anyways have to do like that, you're saying. So I don't gain much. What? No, I could do it in either eye. No, I'm a lefty eye. So don't. But, sorry? So which way are you saying? You're saying... But if I don't have that attachment and I don't care, who said this is Shem Yitzka? What? So you go back to the busha. You're saying the busha. You're saying it's annoying for the. You're saying it's annoying for the tashmish because I'm not reading the whole time and I want to look up for a second. Then, yeah, I'm not. It's a problem. I'm not. It is a Shem Yitzka. So let's assume for a minute the glass pops out and she's a Shem Yitzka. Assuming I have either the nail still or I have, or another way sometimes the glass could pop out is that, it popped out. Let's say it's a plastic frame and it popped out and you could shtupsach and put it back in. But if you do that, that's a problem of tkiya, or maybe hiduk. That's definitely a problem. If it goes back in tight, you wouldn't be allowed to do that on Shabbos. This gets involved in a very big shaila we're going to learn in Baina. We're going to come back to these things in Baina, but it comes back to a shaila that if I put it back in an oifin where it's very tight, sometimes it's borderline. You don't know if it's hiddik, if it's tkiya. If it's hiddik, it's just tight, but it's not very, very tight. That might only be an Issa D'Rabbanan to put it back. If it's very, very tight, that might be an Issa D'Oraisa to put it back. It's very complicated, this shaila. So I would say like this. I would say, let's say you have like this. Let's go in order. The glass pops out. So now the glass, who's the muksa here? The glasses or the glass? That's a hard one. Who's the glass? What? Why? I think the glass is the Shem Yitzka. The glasses is the Shem Yitzka. No, wait, slow. When every case is like that, I can still use the table, right? I can put it onto a safsel. But wait, let's go slow. What's the kli that's kaim still when I have a pair of glasses and a glass pops out? The glasses, not the lens. There's one lens in still, okay? It's rare that both lenses fall out, so I don't even need to talk about that case. That would be, who knows, right? But let's say, who knows, in that case, I don't know. But let's say the glasses, one glass popped out. So now, the glasses is the Shem Yitzka, the muksa is on the glasses, okay? The lens that popped, what's she? So that's a fight. Do we say Shem Yitzka? Do we say there's a Shem Yitzka even on the leg? Rabbi Zman said no. Rabbi Nissen said yes. Let's say we go to Shlomo Zalman. Now we have to don. Is this usable? It is usable. It's definitely usable. It's not, they're both usable. Both usable, right? I was wondering, is this case you're going to say that maybe both of them, just one moment, are you going to say both of them are Shem Yitzka? Because it's a hard case, this case, right? He's got pages of discussing this. What? Which way? Because I could use that, and it's annoying. What? No, but maybe you'll say Shem Yitzka on the lens. We never found such a thing because the leg never had a usage. It wasn't the Iker Kli. Who says that in a pair of glasses, the lens is not the Iker Kli? How do you know that? That's a shayla. I'm not 100% sure. You can have a Rabbi say, what happens if the Kli breaks in half? Okay, my glasses loyal enu, but somebody else's glasses break in half, right? They snap in half. Okay, so now it's a little complicated, this case. Let's not make it snap because otherwise it's okay. Let's snap them enough. Before snapping it, when the glasses is kayyim and the actual glass pops out, I saw that many of the Achrayim seem to take on that the glasses is the Shem Yitzka, the glass, and the lens is the leg. I'm not convinced at all. I'm totally not convinced. I think here would be a case where everyone should agree to Reb Nissen. That everyone should agree to Reb Nissen and say that if in general you don't want to make the leg muksa, but here you should agree to Reb Nissen and make the leg muksa because the leg itself, there's a Shem Yitzka on the leg, right? There's an uncomfortable usage. What's that? What? Why what?
Why is the glass?
We were dealing with the Ksadik Zera of Shemi Yitzka. We're not dining on the Chefza mitzad its usage right now, mitzad if it's a broken clay. We're dining, is there a Gzera that it's so an unfriendly usage that I'm going to go and put it back together? That's the needed. That's a needed. So the glasses they took on, there's a Shemi Yitzka on the glasses. So now I'm dining on the lens. Is there a Shemi Yitzka on the lens? I'm just saying that, I don't know, over here I could hear it said that you have to agree to Reb Nissen. In general, it's out to Aser, because of Reb Nissen. If you want to be Makel and say the glass is no Shemi Yitzka on the glass and be like Rosh Hashanah and not say what I'm saying, now you have to don that there's something you could do with that glass, which is true. You could take it as a lens, like you're saying, but I'm not convinced, and it might have the Shemi Yitzka. That's l'char. Now, a lot of times, though, Rabbi say nothing is going to be muksa, because the case I just said is only that you have the ability to put it back together, right? And either you have the nail and that's what fell out, or it came out of its place, and if you push it back in, it would go in back b'chayzik, and it would be tightly back in. That's a rare case. Those cases are rare. Usually, when it pops out, the nail's gone, or usually when it pops out, it's there's a reason it popped out. It's popped out because it's a loose. Now you have to don what's the halacha when a frame is already popping out a few times already, or it's loose, and if you put it back in, it's still not going to be so tight. So there's a tzaddik we're going to learn when we learn Baina, you're going to be even allowed to put it back in. Elamai, that most of the time I'm going to tell you I'm going to be too scared to let you put it back in, because that's going to be always a shaila. But if I say vait, we're not going to say that it's going to become a muksa. That far we're not going to make it. So let's see now. So then the glasses, what's the Shemi Yitzka? There's no Shemi Yitzka, because even if I do it, I won't be over another Isa. So Mela is no Shemi Yitzka. Elamai, is it regular muksa? Because it's unusable? No, it's totally usable. Right? It's annoying and whatever, right? But you can go like this and you go like that. So that's what comes out. It comes out a very interesting thing. It comes out very ironic. Ask a person who never learned the sugya. The glasses, here, let's go like this. The glasses snap in half on Shabbos. They crack in half. Mamaji, you did a great job. It's snapped in half. So you have one side glass like this. Is there any Shemi Yitzka on that? Definitely not, right? Nobody here is able to fix that except for a Newman or whatever. And you probably, now, is it muksa though? Is it muksa? What? So now you have to don. Most people, when that snaps in half, are they fixing it? What's the mitzvah? I think most people are not fixing it, right? What? Most people are not going to take it to the store to fix it, I think, right? Is that fair? What? No, but sometimes you might get stuck. You punch it stuck. If this is your only pair of glasses, for example, you might get stuck. Emil, you might have no brayer, and you might have to just, grin and tape it. Right? You might have no brayer for like at least 24 hours. If that's the case, so then let's see. It does have a usage, and it's not the derech to throw it out. There's enough people that probably do what I said. That you didn't throw it out. You might have no choice, right? If you don't have another pair of glasses, you have no brayer. So here comes a very interesting. If the glasses snap in half, I have a big tzad to say it's not muksa. If you plan on keeping it right, because there's no Shemi Yitzka. And is it something that is the derech to throw out? Not dafka. If a person needs it, he's not throwing it. You can't say it's 100% to throw out. And he didn't throw it out. And he plans on still using it. And not only that, on Shabbos he wants to use it until, what can he do? He has no other glasses. If this is all he has, right? Sorry? What do you mean? Wait, but let's go in order. I don't want to get confused. It's a very confusing sugya. So let me just don this case and then I'll get down your case. So when that comes out, when it snaps in half, nothing's muksa. Nothing, unless you plan on throwing it right out of the garbage. So then, what? Most people today throw out the lenses because it's not negeya, because you don't, this thing doesn't fit this thing, it's not true. Nobody keeps the lenses today. What? Really? I mean, is that the material I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe, yeah? Maybe. What? So because you're making even more. You're making even more that he's not throwing it out. You're just making more reasons he's not going to chuck it out, right? So it comes out very ironic. It comes out, it's snapped in half. You did a really good job on the glass. That's what I'm saying. You have to know the sugya here. You have to know the sugya. You have to know there's a Shemi Yitaka. You have to know when there's not a Shemi Yitaka. Then you have to know, is there a usage? Is it on its way to the garbage? Is it not? You have to know, because in every case you're going to have to don. And it comes out ironic. If it snaps in half, nothing's muksa. Snaps in half, nothing's muksa. Mashenkin, if it doesn't snap in half, yeah, this my son. It doesn't snap in half. What happens? The glass popped out, right? And you could either, because she put it back in, or you have the nail. So then that's muksa. Most people would not realize that. Most people wouldn't realize. And I told you, I'm like that. Maybe even the glass might be muksa, not just the glass is. The lens might also be muksa. Most people would say pum fakir, but if you didn't learn the sugya, you're going to for charge. Say, what happens? You snap glasses in half. Oh, that's muksa, right? It's totally nothing. Right? Machenkin, if it just popped out a glass, no, it's not broken. Or whatever, that's totally off. Totally off. Is that clear? What do you want to ask now? when both legs come off. So what do you want to say? Both legs come off, we have a Shema Yitka. You have to keep that in mind always. You always have to worry about the Shema Yitka.
Generally speaking, most people that have this type of issue, that have
Yeah.
glasses, at the end of the day, if they're a high number, they're also going to walk around with these glasses.
Again, but you have Shema Yitka. Shema Yitka.
Okay,
No. Well, oh, in a case of where it's it'll be totally if you have a Uman or not. Fine, you're 100% right. If it's something that only an Uman can fix, we spoke this all. Each case you have to done that. That's why I use this example. The example where it snaps in half is Vada you need an Uman to fix, right? So Zichar no Shema Yitka. The case of the legs. There are cases where you need an Uman. There are cases where you won't need an Uman. In each case you have to done. But just a moment for a question. I don't want to lose the oil. I don't want to lose myself up here. But. No, okay. I think we did classes. I think we're pretty good. Oh, one more thing. I made a mistake yesterday. I went back and I looked at my notes. I made a mistake. Rav Yashiv was not the one that said you could put the safety pin in. At least in my notes, he didn't say it. Okay? He didn't say it. In my notes, he said that you cannot put the safety pin in. Remember I told you I couldn't read it because now I was right. I couldn't read it. And then I read it again last night. And because I didn't remember it. I don't know if you noticed. I was sort of saying it, P'tayris, like reading. The Gemara says in Ksuvis that there's Eid Mipiksavam. Taisa says over there that if you wrote down in Eidis, Taisa in Ksuvis, and Kallus says if you read in Eidis off of something that you wrote down to remind you, so then that is called an Eidis, right? That is called an Eidis, but there's a reason why it's a Chiddush in Taisus. And I was reading it again last night. He said it doesn't work. I got it found there. Shlomo Zalman in the 600th page in the Morash Shabbos, they asked for Shlomo Zalman. He said you could put a safety pin in. This sugya, Mr. Hashem, when we learn Boyne, we'll come back to it. I'm only saying it because it was something that got mentioned yesterday. Shlomo Zalman said yes to put the safety pin on Shabbos. Rabbi Yasha said no. That's what the opposite of what I said yesterday. Yeah. Which is, I'll answer your question about, is everyone clear on the cases I spoke about? Everyone clear? Because there's a lot of cases. Is it clear? Everyone here, this side, left side, right side, let's go. Okay, yeah. What? On the case I spoke about? Yeah, so what's the case? Let's go again. The lens is loose and it popped out. Now, since when you would put her back in, now let's take an easy case. The lens cracked. The frame cracked. And because of that, it came out. Now, nobody hears muksa. Does everybody understand why no one hears muksa? There's no Shema Yitaka, because go put it back, it's not really going back. And the only way to fix it is to go to Numan. Now, is the leg muksa, the frame is in muksa because it's somewhat usable still. I mean, you have no prayer. You're for sure you're going to probably put the glass in, right? So are you allowed to put the glass in? Probably, because it's roughly and it's not really tight and it's probably not something that you can make tight. That's an Ilchus Bain. It's a little hard here because you're not equipped yet in the Ilchus Bain aspect. That's why I'm throwing in these ideas. But is that crystal clear? Now you're clear? Clear? If not, get out. You understand it or not? No, otherwise you're out. I don't want to bring this out to try. What? So that's always a question. When the lens popped out twice or three times beforehand, so then probably it means that when you pop her back in, it's probably not takeya, probably not shtar. I would be too scared to allow you to actually pop it back in, but I probably won't make a Shema Yitka. Because what's Shema Yitka? Sorry? Come again? No, I won't make a he's asking, what do you mean? It pops back in easily. But that I won't make a Shema Yitka because probably you're not over in Edis Deraisa when you put her back in. You understand? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Rabbi Sher? Other Rabbi Sher? Everybody in between? All right? Okay, Rabbi Melman. You're closer to the window. You understand what I'm saying or not? Yeah? Okay. Yes? Rabbi Goldschmidt? Yes or no? What? Don't make me single you. Everybody. Yeah? Rabbi Gindi? What? Yeah, that we're going to learn in Boina and whatever. Yeah. Okay, that's it. What? Wait, so what's ironic? That's going to be the riddle for tonight. Okay, you go home, you ask your wife. You have two pairs of glasses that broke. One of them, you did mamish good job. You snapped it in the middle, right? But she's going to know because you're asking it like that, right? So you say, what would you think? No, it's not going to work. I can do it. You say, in which case, when glasses break, would you think it's muksa? That's not bad, right? In which case, when glasses break, it's muksa. So she's going to say, if it snaps in the middle, then that's going to be muksa. But if taka just the glass pops out, and you still have the nail and whatever, so that's not muksa because you can just, that's muksa. Right? But your case of where it popped out, but it goes back in, but it easily goes back in. So then that case probably there's no Shema yet because there's probably no muksas, no anything because it's going to go back in. Good. Everybody knows everything now. Good. With this cloud, now you can have all the 13 cases that he talks. I don't know what he said. I'll be honest with you. He has 13 different cases and 13 different halachas. But yeah, which case it pops out? Why? Because loose.
Now, why is it loose? Actually, if it's because the screw is a bit loose.
Yeah.
So now we say.
Could be telling you that if the screw is loose.
Put it back. Well, it might not be here, but.
No, for sure. If it's because the screw is loose, if it's because the screw is loose, so then 100% there'll be a Shema Yetaka because you'll come to screw it in. 100%. No. Once if there's something there that I could beat Tokeya, then Avada, that's a mitzvah to kill you. That's a Vishnetzach. Yeah? That's good. What? What do you mean Misipik on the Yomin? Yeah. Do you have to Misipik as well? It broke. Now what?
It snaps. You get a new one.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, they don't hold these things. So you have to be specific on that.
What do you mean specific on that?
That you might not be repairable.
Who cares? But no, even if not. Let's say not. So what?
Because you're only keeping it because
No, but that's not true. That's what we said. In the meantime, I might have no choice and I might have to tape it up. I might need it just for today. What would happen, Khalila, if a person has one pair of glasses? For sure he's doing that. He has no prayer, right? What's he doing? Emasa. Sorry?
depending on how important he is glasses.
How's he going to drive, right? How's he going to, how's he going to take the bus? You mean, how's he going to get onto the tender, right?
No problem. I got him.
No, but yesterday, that's why you weren't here. Be careful, Rabbi Zay. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. No, Rabbi Frankel told me that's why you didn't come. Isn't that what you told me when you walked in today? Strange. Okay. Is Rabbi Zay? No sugya. No sugya. I've never been so excited. No sugya. No sugya. Oh, actually, I forgot one thing. The fan that came off the cage. Did we speak about that cage? The cage that came off the fan. No, the fan that came off the cage. Right? The cage that came off the fan. Yeah. And okay, so the truth is that the one I have, you might be allowed to put back on Shabbos Mamash, because they have these like little like clips. Not really clips. They're like, yeah, but I know what you mean, right? So it could be that you're allowed to put that back on Shabbos because that's Ein Binyan B'Keilin. That's reassembly. Who asked me that yesterday? Somebody was asking me why that's considered reassembly. That's reassembly. Right? Oh. But let's say that's not how you have the fan. You have it like it's mamish, tekeya, strong, or there's nails or whatever, and it came off on Shabbos. It came off on Shabbos. So is that called the Iker Kli is Kayim? The fan, right? Is the Iker Kli, right? So the cage is so what's the cage now? What? No, so what is that? What is the cage? The cage is, I just say, that cage is, it's on the floor. What is it? It's a Kli Shemach Li Itzer? No, I just want to know what she is. What? No, I'm saying the fan, let's say, is a Kli Shemach Li Itzer, which is debatable. I told you, we never spoke about that. Let's assume the fan is a Kli Shemach Li Itzer. So what is the cage? It's probably Agav, the Tati bear, right? And the Tati bear is a Kli Shemach Li Itzer, which means that the cage bear is also a Kli Shemach Li Itzer, right? Right? What? No, not a Chol. No, it's a Kli. It's a Kli. But it's a Kli Shemach Li Itzer. You can only move it to Tzarech HaMakom, right? No, I saw one sefer. It's hard to say that maybe it's a Kli Shemach Li Heter. Because what does a cage do? Right? The cage what? The cage keeps your finger locked and whatever. The cage didn't do anything wrong. But it doesn't work like that. Once the cage was a part of a Kli, and that's its entire siba of its shame Kli, is Agav the Avian, Agav the father bear. So the L'chayr doesn't have a Kli Shemach Li Itzer. No, the reason that's Pashit. I don't have a thought in the world not like that. The Chiddush is the other direction, the Chumrah. Let's say you have something which was a Chesaron kiss. It's Pashit, what I'm saying now, it just has to be spoken out. Let's say you have something which is a Chesaron kiss. Give me an example of something a Chesaron kiss that breaks. What do you have? What could be a good example? No, his phone. But how's he gonna know it's broken though? How's he gonna know? What? Figurine's not a great example because once it breaks, it's just nothing. It's just cracked. It's not what? What? Who? A ring is a heter. What? Stam a ring. A ring is a double heter. No, we've had a case once with a ring that I didn't give to the Kali yet. That was a double shel schar. No, I don't have a case, but let's say you have a case, a mila knife that falls on the floor. Okay, a shechita knife that falls on the floor, a mila knife falls on the floor. So now you say, you know what, we won't use it anymore for milas. What are we going to do with it? We'll just like practice on like bears or something like that, right? I don't mean real bears because otherwise that'd be a chavala, right? You gotta have a better case. a shechita knife that falls on the floor, and you say, you know what, I'm not fixing the shechita knife. That's a good case. Yeah, that's a good case. The shechita knife falls on the floor, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to fix the shechita knife. It fell on the floor and whatever, and I just bought a brand new shechita knife. So then I'm just going to use this from now on to cut the meat, and or the challah. I'll use it as a challah knife from now on. And sometimes the challah knife becomes a parsha. That's why it says you're supposed to, be mashlis the shakin on Erev Shabbos, because otherwise it's a problem shalom bayis, because your wife says what cutting the poor guy for hours and hours and hours. So now you say to your wife, this is great. The shechita knife just fell on the floor, and now we're going to use it as a challah knife. So what's the halacha? The halacha is, no, but that's not agav aviyim. I don't even know. That's pasha. Nigzis katzai ben hashmashes is what? The handle, but the handle's not usable. I need something that when it falls off, I can still use it. What? I know, but I want a chasar and kiss case to show the oilam the kitzur, the Tilala David says this, that if you have the actual kli was a chasar and kiss and the door fell off, right? Maybe, what about a safe? Man, that's not chasar. Maybe, is that chasar and kiss? Is a safe, what's a safe? A safe is something that you don't want to move, you want it in a place, you don't want to, but you don't want to move because that's not the reason you don't want to move it. You don't want to move it because you don't want the bad guys to find out. What? But so I'm trying, so fine, so what fell off? What? But the door. Okay, fine. Okay, the china closet falls. The door falls off the china closet. That's not bad. You take out the drawer. That can happen. You take out the drawer. You take out the door. You take off the door comes off. That's not bad. So now that door is the muksa, even if it's agav aviyim. Yeah, that's a good case. Thank you. That's a good case. So even though it's agav aviyim, so then till now we said agav aviyim is a reason to be mutter. Here agav aviyim says yes, you have the din of your father. Your father's a chasr and kiss. No, that's a very important case. Thank you. That's a good case. It's a shame you didn't come yesterday. We could have used that yesterday. All right? No, here, not you. You, we understand. You had the glasses issue. Okay, let me get new sugya. Is that it? That's it. New sugya. Is anybody not clear in the sugya? Right? Is anybody not clear? That whatever, when we say agav aviyim, remember it's a lumdus, right? The lumdus of agav aviyim is you get the din of your father. So till now all the cases of the father bear were mutter bears, right? But now the father bear might be a chasr and kiss bear. But Frankel says if you have a closet, a break front, so then the break front we said you're very careful not to move. She's a chasr and kiss. The door fell off. So that door, yes, it's agav aviyim. Yes, it's going back. Yes, this, that, and everything. But who cares? It's still a chasr and kiss. Because he's just like dad. And dad was a chasr and kiss. It's pashit. It's mamish pashit. It just has to be spoken out. I'm sorry? Sorry? Let me answer you after. I didn't start to share you. I'll be in it. I'll answer you after. It doesn't matter. The donuts don't come out anyways until Shpeta. So it's a shame. We'll talk before the donuts. Okay. As I say, new second. I give out to you guys. You give me so much trouble today. All right, let's start. This. There is a sneaky Mishnah Berurah here. This is a sneaky Mishnah Berurah. And the Mishnah Berurah sneaks in here. He sneaks in something that he doesn't say where he should have said it. He says it over here. Very sneaky Mishnah Berurah. And this Mishnah Berurah was marish the world. The whole world shook because of this Mishnah Berurah. Everybody. So let's see. What's this Mishnah Berurah? This Mishnah Berurah requires a little bit background information that everybody in this room has because it was in the 232nd shir, I think it was, or 242nd shir, something like that, where we spoke about Chazal made many gzeiros of schita. Chazal didn't just make the Torah aser schita. You're not allowed to be soichet the beged. You're not allowed to take a rag and wring out the rag. You're not allowed to use baby wipes on Shabbos and all these things. So Chazal made a gzeira, right? Because they're afraid of schita. Schita, the Torah, it's such an easy thing to come lidei schita. It's so easy to take a beged and just to wring it out. Such an easy thing. We're not talking about schita of Paris now. That's a different schita. That's a schita of dash. We're talking about a schita of Liban. It's such an easy thing so Chazal made so many gzeiras to keep the person away from coming lidei schita. Okay, coming lidei schita. So many gzeiras. Chazal made a gzeira that all types of, I don't want to go into it now, with wet begodim and whatever, all types of gzeiras. Okay, So Chazal, one of the gzeras that Chazal made is that you're not allowed to be metaltal a wet beged. Where does it say that? In Siman Shin Aleph. That's why this is all getting, it's going to be very sneaky. You're going to say very sneaky. We learned this in Shlita. We didn't learn it in Shin Aleph. In Shin Aleph, it says, Shulchan Aruch says that, let's see, let's see. Where does it start? There's a bunch of these areas. Oh, there. Here. It's going off of the Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch has a gzeira by saying that you're not allowed to hang wet laundry on Shabbos. What's the case? Not even laundry. You're not allowed to hang a wet beged on Shabbos. What's the case? There he is. He got caught in the rain. He comes home. He wants to hang out his jacket. So he takes it and he hangs it out. And so the Chazal say you're not allowed to do that. Why? Because the Marasayim, people are going to think he must have just washed his beged and he's hanging it out. And they're going to come to think that you could launder. They're going to come to think that he laundered on Shabbos. You're going to ask, they see it's raining outside. So the Tiferes Yisrael, he says, yeah, Nechanami, it can't be that's the pshat. It can't be that's the pshat. He says that's why it says in the Gemara, it says, this is old raid by us. It says in the Gemara that Misha Noshru Kalov Baderach. Why does it say Baderach? Why does it say Misha Noshru Kalov? So he says two roots. And one is, he says, first of all, maybe it's not talking where it rains. It's only that he got stepped into a puddle. Because if it's raining, there's no gzeira. And then he says something else. He says, or maybe it's only Baderach because it wasn't raining in the shtetl. It's only raining outside the shtetl. So Mela, that's why if the guy has his wet begadim, people are going to think, wow, what's going on? He must have laundered it. But if it's raining outside, you're allowed to hang up. You're allowed to hang up the clothing. This is against all the playskin. Now, nobody says this, against all the playskin. This is the sipa for Tonish learning. But I don't know. But that's not like, the halacha is if you're, so they used to say, Terry, you know what they used to say? They used to say if you were walking in the rain and it rained on your suit. You know what they used to say? You say a suit is something that you only dry clean. Nobody washes a suit in the house. So beside that's a heter. They want to say as a heter. Maybe nobody washes a suit in the house. The whole zera is on something that you wash, but something that nobody washes. Who says there's a zera about it? Does that heter apply today? No, doesn't apply today. Even if you don't have a washable suit, but it exists. But today's machine washable suits. Even if you don't have one, but it exists. That heter's gone. No, it's Marit Kesach. In the world 2020, it's like a different world. You can't say the same things. You can't just listen to a shiur you heard a few years ago, you know? How many people here are wearing a machine washable? Or is it embarrassing? It's embarrassing. I'm wearing a machine washable suit. It says here. My wife told me it's not embarrassing. Machine washable. I'm wearing a machine washable suit. No, I'm not afraid of you people. Right? Buzz? Not sure why would nobody do it? If they sell it, then people do it. Why would nobody do it? Why would they? I don't understand that at all. Of course they do it. They do. So that heter's gone, but that's not our sugya. Not our sugya. I just threw that in because I found it very intriguing. They have different heterim. There are heterim if you hang it in a place where it's not the derech to hang laundry, wet laundry. Like for example, you hang it in the closet. So nobody hangs out things to dry in the closet, so that's not included in the gzeira. Whatever. It's not our sugya. Comes again the Ramah. He says like this. Oh no, I didn't even have to tell you that. All right, you got a freebie. I thought there's the Ramah. That's it. No, next sif, Shulchan Aruch says that you're not allowed to take now your gloves. You have these wet gloves. So you have these wet gloves. Why are the gloves wet? Because they were in the rain and in the snow, so they're wet. So now what do you do with the wet gloves? So you want to put them there like you put them on the fire, on the steam. You put them on the steam. So that says the Mishabura, forget the fact that maybe it's a Xera, people are going to think you watch, or even is it their Isa. It's Bishol. Bishol, we learned that in Bishol. Remember, you're from Bishol, the rice, you're cooking the gloves. Okay, so cooked again. The Ramah, he says like this. By the way, asur l'taltalam. Next, you have wet clothing. You're not allowed to, this is all new gzeira. This is where our sugya starts. You're not allowed to handle wet clothing on Shabbos. Why not allowed to handle wet clothing? It says the Ramah, Shema Yavai Lidei Schita. Mordechai Perchavis, because you might come to wring it out because you have these wet gloves, you have a wet shirt, a wet yarmulke, whatever it could be, right? Any wet beged on Shabbos, you're not allowed to move. Asr l'taltalov. Why? Because Yeshema Yavai l'seichtam. You're going to come to wring it out. Now this gzeira, there's many kulas. Many kulas. So before you ask any questions, let me tell you all the kulas first. Again, we learned it back then. I'm only talking about this now because there's an aspect which is again, this is muksa. Welcome to a new muksa, Derech Agav, Rabbi Yisrael. You know what muksa this is called? Muksa machmas iser. New muksa. We did Malachta Eliezer, we did Cheshvan Kiss, we did Kufay, we did Malachta Leheter, we did Shivrei Kalim, Shemi Yitkas. Now you have a new muksa. Well, Shemi Yitkas was that type of muksa. It's a muksa machmas iser. They made a gzeira and they said you can't be metaltal because you're going to come to do an iser. Good? Good or not good? Now you have to have all the kulas. So I wrote down the kulas again. It's something we did, so I won't be mayach. But there's a bunch of kulas. The ikar kula I want to shell on today is what the Mishnah Berurah is talking about. That's the first kula. I'll tell you all the kulas anyways. The first kula says the Ramah. The Ramah says, there's a kula, it's only if, actually this isn't the first one. The Ramah's kula is the second kula, but who should makbid al meimav. The only time that they made this gzeira, you're not allowed to carry around this beged when it's wet, is it's something that you're makbid that there shouldn't be water in it. Why? Because you don't want the shirt to, I don't know, maybe because it shrinks or this or that. But let's say it's a rag. That's Mishnah Berurah's Ashmata, very good, right? Every Shabbos, something spills on the floor, you take the rag and you put it on. That's what you have. So you take the rag and you put it on. Okay, now it's soaking wet. So how are you going to pick it up? I just told you, you can't pick up the rag because there's a gzeira of tiltal, right? So how are you going to pick it up? And this isn't even, a klish machtal yeser. It's also bein tzarich mekayimai too. You can't say, well, I need the makkah. Yeah. So on that, we have the first heter. The first heter is that if a rag is not something you don't mind the rag should be wet. It's true. Don't get confused. I know all of you take rags and bring them out, right? But you're not. The gzeira over here is that they were afraid you're going to be seichid because you're makbid that it shouldn't be wet. That's the gzeira. You can clear it. Today, people aren't so makbid on things. So maybe the whole gzeira falls off, but nobody says that, so I'm not going to say it. But in those days, he didn't want the shirt, the sweater to be wet, so he would wring it out to rid the water, to rid itself of the water. Mashain Kain, if it's a rag, so you don't mind that there should be water in the rag because that's its place. It doesn't bother you that the rag should have water. But you're happy that the rag should have water. So therefore, if you have a spill on the floor and you put the shmata on top of it, so you're allowed to pick it up and you're allowed to put it to the side. That obviously you can't be seichit as you're walking, but you pick it up and you bring it to the side and you put it in a place where it doesn't bother anybody. Okay? Probably shouldn't hang it up. You probably shouldn't hang it up because you have the other gzeira of the Marsayim. People are going to think you washed it on Shabbos. It's also, you probably have that. You shouldn't hang it up, just throw it to the side. But it's not muksa. Is that clear? That's the first kula. Again, the yisr is no carrying around wet things, wet begadim that you're going to come to wring out. Kula number one in that gzeira is that if it's not makbid al meimav, if it's something that I'm not makbid on, and I don't mind it should be wet, so then there's no gzeira. Clear? Is that crystal clear? The second, the kula is, Mishnah Berurah brings the kula over here, he doesn't give an explanation. By us, he gives an explanation. Here he says another kula, this is the kula of mayim merubin. Mishnah Berurah said the only time it's a problem is if there's a lot of water. Dafka kishinashnu mayim merubin. If there's a little bit of water, so what am I worried? You're going to he doesn't mean that you can't do schita. You could do schita, but you're not worried because it's going to be so hard to do schita. You're going to have to mamish press to get out a little drop of water. We're not afraid that you're going to do that. Okay? That's the Mishnah Berurah. Mayim mu'atim. We're going to talk about does anybody have a kasha? What is it? What's mu'atim and what's merubin, right? Here the Mishnah Berurah doesn't tell you. Here it doesn't tell you. He doesn't tell you how much is merubin, how much is mu'atim. So hold off on that question. I'll tell you the answer in a moment. That's where our Mishnah Berurah comes in. Then there's another kula over here. There's a kula over here of Derech Agav. Don't forget that rag that I told you can move her, even though when she's soaking wet, it's still only mutal tzarkuf mekayimai. A rag is something generally which is made to clean up spills, and it's probably a malachta le'isr. Its malacha is to do isr, right? Because let's say a floor shmata, with a sponge stick, with that thing. So her job is usually to be used as doing an isr. So you're only going to be allowed to move her the tzarkuf mekayimai. Usually it's a tzarkuf mekayimai, or it's usually graf sharei, or usually you don't want somebody to trip on it and get hurt anyways. Okay, so usually it's allowed. I'm saying you just can't move it for no reason. And once it's in your hand, you can probably put it where you want, or whatever. Okay, what's the third kula? Third kula is, what if I don't have another yarmulke, right? I'm walking in the rain, and all of a sudden the yarmulke falls into a puddle, right? And it's soaking wet, not mayim mu'atim. And I'm makbid gomer, I definitely don't want my yarmulke to be soaking wet, right? So now, can I wear the yarmulke home? Okay, where the Yama go? What's the answer? That's a new kula. New kula. Says the Ramah, Mishabur brings over here, he says, well, this is all that if you have something else to wear, right? If you have nothing else to wear, no, we're not going to make you that far not. He says, Mishabur Ramah, where is it? He says, where is it? You have to take my word for it. I didn't look into this before. I should have probably. I understand what tell you something about the line. Shouldn't with mine. Maybe. Where is it? Where? Oh, it's in the beginning of the sentence. Where? Shouldn't be member. The Asim shut up. From the other Asim Nagan. Because on the base, but is that going on us? Let's see. They didn't answer on a person the begotten that he's wearing. Thank you, Rabbi. You don't have to worry that you're going to come to schita. So he says, that's a big kula. That means my yarmulke, I'm walking down the street, it falls into a puddle. And then, are you allowed to walk home wearing the yarmulke? The answer is yeah. I don't have a yarmulke now. When you get home, if you have another yarmulke, you have to use a different yarmulke. Don't take that yarmulke, put it on the steam. Don't take that yarmulke and hang it out. People think you wash your yarmulke. Right? That's the, what? What about a hat? It's interesting. I know it's ein lo yarmulke acher, but I don't really need the yarmulke. Interesting. I don't know. I once got caught, and I don't think I ever got rained on more than that. I was giving the shir in Kallus Green by Chunan. I got caught in a zar rain. I was walking from. It was a zar rain. I came there. It was 6 o'clock. I remember it. I came there sopping. Mamish. I had to walk 20 minutes in the rain. Sopping. I gave the shear. As I gave the shear, I was mamish. I can hear you can hear it. And you know me, I move around. Over here, I don't move around. But over there, I move around. I can hear the mamish, the sopping. So that was ein lo beged acher, mamish. You're saying, what happens if I have? That's interesting. Interesting. What? Anyways, it could be that my case is the case of where it fell in the puddle. In the case where it's on your head, Ishladim Bechlal, maybe it's muksa. Anyways, you can continue carrying it or whatever. But sorry? Chazal didn't go easier because it doesn't mean every case is covered up breeze. That's what I'm specific about. It means maybe the pshat is since there are cases of covered up breeze, they weren't geyser b'kai gavna, right? But I hear Yishladin is that called? I have a yarmulke. What did we say back then? Anybody remember? What did we say? I'm sure we spoke about it. Yeah. What did we say? You let me know. It's interesting to chat. Now, is it right side? One more kula is the Gemara says another kula. The Gemara, the Magen Avraham brings this kula. I don't know why. In the whole Sefer Mishnah Berurah in 697 Zman, he never brings this kula. I don't know why. But it's a Gemara, so you can't say we don't hold of it. It's a Gemara. Magen Avraham does bring it. It's a big pella. I don't know. It says over there, if you have another people to remind you, like a shomer azah, so then they didn't make the example. Now the Gemara says 10 people. That means 10 people are carrying this baguette, right? So the Rabbi says, is 10 people dafka? Is 10 people dafka? Do you need 10 people to remind you? 10 people. One person's carrying and 10 people are giving chizik, and the whole time telling him not to be saichet. So they're Shon Zam in the Shmir Shabbos in Tesvav and Gimel. He says it's a tzarchi in Gadol because Taisus Mefurish on the page says it's lav dafka 10. It's even 2. Tzarchi, but this is the halacha. The halacha is if you have 2 people, there's no gzeir Hashem Yisrael. Where's the negeh? Mamish negeh. Where's the negeh? Negeh. It was when it rained in the sukkah this year. It was negeh. Right? It rained one time in the sukkah and it was on Yontif. It was God last year, not this. It rained in the sukkah. It was Yontif and the rain came pouring down onto the tablecloth. Right? So now that tablecloth is soaking wet. Mamish our sukkah, right? Soaking. So then it's my ruba. And your makbid. You don't want the water in here, right? And you have other tablecloths. have other tablecloths, so you don't have that cooler or whatever, etc. So what do? You get two people. You get two people. You take that side of the table. That's what the Ma'aser Shaya is. The Ma'aser Rav. That's what I did. Right? You take one side. So you need two people to be holding it. Problem is you don't have a Mishabura here, so it's difficult. Right? Pashtus is it's enough one person's holding it and the other person's. Pashtus is better if two people are holding it. What? Yeah. So you just take it inside and bring it to wherever. Bring it somewhere else. Yeah, whatever, wherever you can do it. You can't hang it out to dry. In a Chanami, you don't forget that. You can't hang it out to dry. Maybe don't put it by the steam, right? All these things, right? Put it in the closet, whatever. Okay, clear? So now, what's going on over here? Let me, for 2 minutes, let's at least, I just want to ask you at least the cash on the Mishnah, at least that much. So what's okay, everyone's clear? Now you know there's new Gzeira. Kids are loyal leinu. It's nagay. It starts with the puddles now and the raining now, whatever. So there you are, and you did that terrible mistake. Oh no, and your sock is filled with frag nish and all types of nish frag, And then, so what's halacha? Do you have to take off the sock? So now the halacha is you don't have to take off the sock because the ma'isa you don't have another sock. When you get home, you got to take her off. You got to take her off, right? And don't hang it out and don't put it in the steam and don't whatever. What? Sorry? So that they say that the squeezing that you're doing is because it goes right back in and it mixes with all your peas and carrots and fragnish, what's going on in there after you stepped in there. You know what I mean? Right? That is, what? I think he's having a bad ashpa on me. What?
Take off.
But you take off, just be careful. Just be careful. What? No, but you're not trying to squeeze. So then, what? That's also, there's a taz like that in Simchin Chavav. And Chazal weren't geyser on something that's niyafshir, because Chazal understood that there's a mitzias of getting, they talk about a case of a person in the water, and you're allowed mitzad the din of the Gemara to go into water on Shabbos. We have our chumras and whatever, right? But so you're allowed the din of the Gemara. So how is it possible you're going to be carrying the water on your head in a carmelist or whatever? Yafshir. It is such a svar, it's true. But like this. Listen to this Mishabura, then we'll at least stop here, but listen to Mishabura. Mishabura says, in ours, sneaky Mishabura, sneaks it in, right? So the Mishabura is going on like the sif that was talking about. It was talking about something else. The Mishabura was talking about these types of hangers, and he was dining are these hangers, klish machtal yisers. I told you I'm not going through every single Shulchan Aruch and every Mishabura and every application. I prefer to go through the applications of things that we have today. But the Mishabura in Simchat Samach Gimel says like this. He says, He's talking about you have some type of a chalak that you washed. You have a shirt that you washed on Erev Shabbos. You put like a hanger, whatever, some type of a hanger that you put in a shirt to dry out the shirt. Okay? So he says, so now you want to take out that hanger. That's the case of the Shulchan Aruch. You want to take out the hanger, and that's the needin over here. So the Mishabura says like this, Hainu me'erev Shabbos. We're talking about a shirt. Again, the case that he's talking about, I don't want you to get caught up. He's talking about some case that the kli itself might have been a malachta le'isr. They had, by us, the hangers are malachta le'heter, so don't worry. But maybe they're malachta le'heter v'isr because you use it to dry things, right? But they're for sure also malachta le'heter, and therefore our hangers are not an issue. But he had a hanger, that was their needed. But the Mishabur now has a problem. He says, wait a minute. You have a wet beged on this. We have a much bigger problem. You have that this beged is wet. If this beged is wet, so then the beged is, we just learned the whole sugya, begodim that are wet are muksa, are tiltul muksa machmas sisser. That's a terrible thing, right? Terrible thing. So Mishmur says, oh, don't worry. It's talking about mayrish and it's yabish ksas mi baydyan. It dried a little bit mi baydyan. Okay, how much? Why? Now he tells you. First of all, the idea in this Mishnah Berurah. He says, if this shirt, now he tells us how much is merubin for the first time. Till now we didn't know this. How much is merubin? Now I'm going to tell you the secret. Merubin is tofeach al manas latfiach. What does that mean? That means that this thing is so wet, she's so wet, this beged is so wet, that when I touch her, I touch somewhere else, it's so wet now that it makes this hand able to wet someone else. Tofeach al manas lihat fiach. Okay? That means how wet does the beged have to be in order for it to be a problem that I'm going to come to seichel it? If it's wet, just wet, that when I would put it over here, it would make this thing wet, but it wouldn't make something else wet. Okay, try it today. It's a lot of fun. When you first think about it, you're like, what? How could that be? It exists. There is such a level. But probably not pressing mamish, but then when you touch it on the other thing, it's wet enough, just a moment, it's wet enough that it itself is tefeach al menaz latfiach. That when you touch it to something else, it will make somebody else wet. Okay, that's first. Derech Agav, if you have a washing machine, there's a big one. You ready for this? If you have a washing machine that the spin cycle isn't broken, many spin cycles are broken. But if you have a washing machine that the spin cycle is not broken, and sometimes your spin cycle works, it's just not doing its job. But if you have a spin cycle that is not broken, generally take out that this is my finding. Generally, after you take that shirt out, it's not tefech al mas not tefech, which means that this whole halacha is we just got a kula gedola on anything that went through a washing machine, not a dryer, and anything that went through a washing machine. Big kula, I just said. Now, you still, let's say Erev Shabbos, you left some shirt in there or something, and you don't want to hang it out to dry or something, right? So then she's not muksa, but you can't hang it out, right? Don't forget, also you have boyer a lot of times. You're going to start separating. Okay. So the difference is what? Sorry? No, sometimes the door is not, it's off. The machine turns off. Sometimes it could be such a thing, right? But don't forget also, if it was going during Ben Hashmashis, so then it was probably soaking wet. That's the difference. Don't worry. But anyways, let's say you have a shirt that was you walk past the washing machine on Shabbos, okay? And you see it was open and you realize you left in one shirt. That's where it'll be again. You left in one shirt. You see there's a shirt in there, right? Now it's sitting there and it's wet, right? So you don't want that because then it's going to get all icky and moldy and whatever. It's open, the door is open, no problems, right? So now, could you take it out and hang it? You can't hang it. But could you be metaltal it? Yeah. What do you do? Put it on a hanger and put it in the closet. I don't know, right? Put it in the closet or something like that, okay? Because that's, what? Yeah, it's not muksa. She's not muksa. So what? You're not an Aish, right? You're not an Aish. Not the mikvah, but the fifth night of Hanukkah, you know. But Afal Pekin, right? Afal Pekin. But so now the Mishnah Berurah just told us what? What did the Mishnah Berurah just tell us? The Mishnah Berurah just told us that if it's a tefeach hamas latfiach, so then derech agav. Now you have to think. What about the baby wipes? Are they muksa taka? The baby wipes. Let's see. They're wet enough. Oh, it's schita. But what? I mean, if not, with the main gzeira, I don't see why it should be in the gzeira. I don't see why not. It's a bag. It's a bag of material. No, why? Oh, but this is a beged. This is the derech to take out the water. Some of them are very. You mean maybe they only made the gzeira on a beged, and I'm not that the water shouldn't be in there, not on something that I use it to be seiche. So then it'll only be a klisha malachta the iser. You mean? You use it to do dash, like he's saying. You do to do dash, to do an issa deraisa of dash. He's saying, so what happens if the shligur says, pass me the baby wipe? You have to tell it, it's a klish machtal yetzer, which is only motel tzar kufa, and kufa means shal yisrael. Looks at the makim shligur. No, it's a klish machtal yetzer for sure. Definitely klish machtal yetzer. That's not even a shot in the world. But he's saying it's not evil muksa. It's definitely klish machtal yetzer, not a shot in the world. It's not. It's for sure klish machtal yetzer. There's no question in the world. No, don't touch Mishnah Berurah. No. The Mishnah Berurah in Simitaf Rashid Gimel, the one you're referring to, doesn't say that. No. But Akapan, but the shir's over. All right, the big question. Take a look at this Mishnah Berurah. There's a big question in Mishnah Berurah. It's a big question in Mishnah Berurah. But again, all right, the Sikkum will make them up because we anyways are going to have to go into the question, right? But what happened? I don't even know what happened. No. It's very scary. You know, you look at the candles. It's like the more candles, you feel like it's more Hanukkah, right? Tonight's already it's the sixth night, no? So if you look at the candle, you get like it's almost like, and it's exact fakert, right? It means the Hanukkah is almost over. No, the more candles, so when you're seeing more and more of Hanukkah, it's more and more light. It has to be more and more scary because you're losing Hanukkah. I mean, you have to take advantage when you see more and more candles, no? So go learn. Because what else could you take advantage of Hanukkah except to learn? So go learn. Let me see your Mishnah Berurah. No. Go inside. What?
new song called Every Year's a Fire.
Every year's a fire? What do you mean every year's a fire?
Huh? That's what it means. So then you can't put on a shirt.
Every year's a candle, maybe. Every year's a fire. He's saying that every year's a fire. That's what he means.
If the shirt's wet,